Welcome to this quick how-to video on upgrading a microscope to the latest Microscope 3C. In front of the camera I've got a Microscope 2 which you can see is pretty beaten up, done a few shows. I think this one's about 12 years old. And this is the upgrade kit. Let's have a look at what's in there first of all. We've got the most important bit, the new sticker to go on the case. We've got the module that we're going to replace that gives you the new functionality. We've got some replacement feet. Quite a lot of older microscopes end up having lost their sticky feet. Little square of Velcro because we have to reposition the battery inside, and also some alcohol wipes for cleaning the case before you put feet and stickers on. So that's what we're going to be using. In addition to that, all you need is a small posi screwdriver and a small flathead screwdriver. So let's get started on this. There are 4 screws holding the case together. So take those out. And retain, as they say. This is probably the point at which we should be doing the Blue Peter style. Here's one I prepared earlier, but we'll go through the whole process just to show that we're not cheating. So gently pull the 2 sections of case apart. This one's a bit of a mess inside. The Velcro on the battery has come off, needs a little bit of a clean up. So first thing we're going to do is to disconnect the 3 cables. DMX, the DMX, and the battery one. The connectors are all labelled, so we can put that back together afterwards. First of all, let's have a look at the main electronics. You can see the microprocessor here, and first of all we're going to remove that. To do that, take a small flat-headed screwdriver and just prise it gently. Make sure you're prising the chip and not prising the socket, because that would cause damage. Once you've got it out, you can just gently lever it and remove it. You can also remove, don't have to, but you can remove this little 8-pin chip down here because that's now surplus to requirements, and getting rid of it will give you a slight improvement on battery life. Right, before you put the new module in, just check you've got the orientation right. There's a little dink there. You should have this MOSFET on the left hand side. Pick up the upgrade module and just place it in position, looking at the edge here, just to make sure that you've got the pins perfectly lined up. Once you have, press firmly down with 2 thumbs and you'll hear it click into place. So that's all there is to do to that part. Now the battery needs a little bit of a sort out. There is a spare piece of Velcro if you need it, if it's positioned too high. But basically, you need to reposition the battery so the bottom corner is just by this screw here, and that will mean that everything fits together nicely. So having done that, let's reconnect the connectors. So this one here is going to the female XLR. So that's the DMX output connector, which is this one here. Slide that back into position. Then the DMX input connector is going here. See that? And finally you want the battery connector to go up there. So that's all done. Now, when we put the case back together, we need to rotate this and you just need to push the cables aside so that they don't sit on top of the battery when you put the two sections back together. Assuming that everything's okay, you'll see the screw holes line up nicely the way they did. So we're going to screw that one back together. That. Now, take one of the alcohol wipes, give the back a bit of a clean, and let's get the feet back on. Okay, the feet done, and then wipe over the front, let it evaporate for a second, and then take the backing off the label and line that up. Okay, we now have a Microscope 3C, so moment of truth, let's turn it on and see what we get. Okay, you can see that the battery needs a good old charge, but it's booted up in the new mode. There you go. Thanks for listening.